We want to welcome you to the National Federation of the Blind Newsline Indiana television show. And today we're here in a different location today, as you may see with the background. And we're here today with some very special guests. We got an individual here that's an innovator, a motivator, an individual that just lives the dream of what it actually means to be blind and improving the lives of blind citizens. And Florence, it's special to have him here today.
It's an awesome privilege to have him here today.
And this individual that we're talking about is sitting to my right, and I want to introduce to you our listening and viewing audience today, Mr. Amos Miller. He is the founder and the CEO of a corporation by the name of Glidance. And welcome to the show, Amos.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, and thank you for those kind words, both of you. It's wonderful to be here and a privilege.
Well, I'll tell you, Florence, as blind citizens, we often use mobility tools to get around. And the Glidance team, you know, they are very passionate about what they do with the technology. They got new technology to remove barriers that we have as blind citizens. And I tell you, I was kind of curious about it, and we did get a demonstration here in Indianapolis visiting. And so we went to the demo session yesterday. And I'll tell you, I'm really motivated about this new technology, and it makes a lot of difference in the way that we travel. And I just want to know a few things, you know, a little bit about you first. You know, were you born blind, or where were you born, period?
Yeah, of course. So again, thank you so much for having me, and it's wonderful to meet you and have this conversation with you. I was born in Israel many years ago in early 70s, although I lived most of my life in the UK and in the last 10 years or so here in the US in Seattle. I was born with retinitis pigmentosa, so it's a genetic eye disease that affects your eyesight over time. In my case, I was diagnosed when I was 5 years old. My parents noticed that I'm getting way too close to the television to see things, and doing things that suggested that there might be a problem there. And I think when they heard I have retinitis pigmentosa, it was a pretty shocking piece of news to learn that your child is going to lose their sight sometime during their life. We never know how long it's going to take. In my case, I lost most of my sight by the age of, in my early 20s, I would say.
Okay, Amos, so were there other people in your family who had retinitis pigmentosa, or RP as we call it?
Not in my case. My mother is a carrier, but nobody that's actually experienced the disease.
So that's a little different than your family, isn't it?
Yes,
There's different types of genes, right? Like in my case, it's an X-linked gene, so it only affects men, but the women genes carry the disease. So.
And you know what, Amos, they actually told my family the same thing. They said that my dad, my grandfather, my brothers who had it, they told my mother that they wouldn't have to worry about the women because it only ran on the male side of the family. However, lucky me.
Lucky one, yeah. Well, my daughter is a carrier. She has not shown any evidence that she has the disease, but she is a carrier.
And you know, that has to be concerning as we have children, you know, and you know that gene is prevalent. You know, so you know, it's great to have the you know, the medical advances that's gone on about that particular disease. And has it progressed enough to where you think that may, at some point in time, that may be eradicated?
I'm not the expert to ask about that. Like a lot of things in life, people think that I will be the expert in accessibility, and I'm really not an expert in accessibility. If you want my opinion, you'll get it, but it's my opinion. I think, I've tracked the medical advancements related to this condition for decades. I live a full and independent life as a blind person, and I dedicate most of my energy to doing that. I keep track, and I think that there's definitely advancements in genetics and in different kinds of implants and so on. So I am confident that there will be ways to slow down, improve eyesight. There already are trials where that is already happening, and so yeah, I think that there's definitely hope on that front.
All right, so I'm just guessing that that's what prompted you to try to find solutions to, let's say, toward the advancement of people that are blind.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, solutions for me and for people that I know. I've been a techie from a very young age. I fell in love with computers pretty much as they started showing up in the late 70s and into the 80s. I had my Commodore 64, and I had the chance to learn to use the IBM PCs when they came out, and then Windows came out. So I've been fascinated by computers and also AI from a very young age, and I've always been curious how we can apply these technologies to make a difference in our lives as blind people, in many other people's lives, with people with disabilities, but do so in a way that actually has a meaningful impact, not just a gimmick, if you know what I mean. Like,
Yes.
there's quite a difference. I appreciate everybody's effort in this field, but I've always looked for ways that it's going to actually make a meaningful difference, and we can kind of discuss how that took me to exploring wayfinding and navigation technologies, and arriving with a crazy but exciting device called Glide, which you guys had a chance to try yesterday.
Yes, it's very interesting when you speak of, being a techie and being blind. For many people that are listeners and viewing audience, particularly our sighted peers, they have no concept of the technologies that we use, the screen readers, and that speaks to us when we type in, or when we're using the phones, and that type of technology gives us access to the world, really. And
oh my God, does it give us access? I mean, what's been going on in the last 20 years, right?
Right.
Screen reader technology and the internet and the speed in which computers work at today. Like, people, I think, often think that using a screen reader on a computer is laborious, slow, no, it's very fast, it's very efficient. We can move very fast as blind people on these technologies.
Yes, I'll tell you,
right?
That's so true, because I use it on a daily basis myself, and it does provide, a living,
Oh yeah, it takes some practice. I know that the learning curve to learn that, to become proficient with the use of a screen reader, it takes some time. But if you learn to touch type, you put some effort into that, and you learn some of the shortcut keys, you'll be flying.
Okay. So we were talking about you being a founder and CEO of a device called Glide.
Yep.
You want to talk about what led you to developing this concept?
Yeah, so I think I'll start with sometime 2008, 2009, I joined the board of guide dogs for the blind in the UK, actually, while I was living there. And one of the questions that we had was, how is technology going to change the landscape of independent mobility? That led to a really interesting collaboration with Microsoft, where I worked at the time, to an investment into a whole research program into the use of advanced technologies into independent mobility for the blind. That work led to Microsoft Soundscape, which is one of the navigation apps that folks might be familiar with, that uses spatial audio to help a blind person have a richer awareness of their surroundings, so that we feel more confident to get around. What I learned from that is the amazing technologies that we can make available to blind people will only have meaningful difference to people who are already confidently out there, already confidently using their white cane or their guide dog. But it turns out that a lot of blind people don't necessarily have the confidence or the opportunity to get the level of training, especially people who lose their sight later in life. And so that really led to the question of, is there another form of mobility aid that could complement the cane and the guide dog, and provide people with another option as a way to get back on their feet and build up their skills, build up orientation mobility skills, and really get on their mobility journey easier.
Okay, I mean, that is a fantastic information. And what we're going to do, we're going to take us a short break, and we're going to come back with the founder and the CEO of Glidance.
Using its smart sensors and camera, Glide spots a pillar in the way and is steering its wheels to guide Amos safely around it. While walking through a crowded area, Glide weaves a smooth path. Amos is walking confidently and with purpose. Take note that Glide's wheels are not motorized. Glide is not pulling him at all. He's walking at his own speed.
Welcome back to the National Federation of the Blind Newsline, Indiana, and we're speaking with Mr. Amos Miller, CEO and founder of Glidance. And Amos, tell us a little bit about Glidance. What exactly is Glide?
Yeah, so Glide is a primary mobility aid. It's in effect a robot, but it doesn't look anything like a robot or feel like a robot. What it is, it has two wheels on the ground, a long handle. The wheels would be around 2 or 3 feet in front of your left or right foot, depending on which hand you're holding it in. You hold the handle, you nudge the device forward, and as you begin to walk, the wheels autonomously begin to steer. So it uses autonomous driving technology to sense the environment. And as you walk, the wheels steer a little bit to the left, a little to the right, guiding you around an obstacle, so you don't need to interact with that obstacle at all. It can see the path in front of you and guide you on that path, helping you keep that straight line, weave amongst obstacles and people, and then detect potential targets that you'd go to, like dropped curbs, crossings, elevators, escalators, whatever's in the environment that you're looking for to get to. So really a very, very easy to use mobility aid that you can pick up and walk with.
So, so how long has this been in development?
I've started exploring it before I started Glidance, and really my first experiment was literally an RC car with a stick on top to see if the idea of guiding somebody with a physical thing that is connected to the ground and guides, is that a way to guide the person? And all the evidence and people I tried it with proved that it actually can work that way. So we started Glidance, the company, about 2 years ago when we started development. We've been through 5 iterations already of our prototypes. We are now just wrapping up our alpha testing and going into beta. You guys had a chance to test our alpha device yesterday in a demo day here at the Bosna Center, and I'd love to hear what you experienced. What did you feel? How did it go for you?
Now, for myself, I found it easy to navigate. And when I say navigate, basically all I had to do was follow behind it. And I was very impressed that when there was an obstacle in front of me, it stopped. And it also turned. So I was really impressed with that because I did not know what to expect.
Yeah, it's one of those things, until you try it, you don't quite, it's very hard to get your head around, but like you said, if it can guide you around the obstacle, you wouldn't even know it's there. It just kind of guides you around it, and you continue walking. It's a lot like the experience of walking with a guide dog. And indeed, if there's an obstacle that it's too tight, or it comes in as a surprise, it will apply the brakes, maybe help you back out a little bit and get around that obstacle and continue.
Yeah, that was one of my experiences with it, and I was really impressed with the, how it's manufactured there. I enjoy the handle itself that you can make the adjustments with, and then it also with the 3 buttons that would give you information, and I really enjoyed that was there. And then when I did go into like a corner, it backed me out. Now that was impressive. How did it get to that corner and back me out of that corner? And so and getting back onto the right path. So can you explain to me how does that actually work? Because when you back out, and you would basically, as a user, would have to know what direction you're heading in to point it into that direction, or what?
Yeah, so there's really 2 forms of use, or 2 modes. One is what we call freestyle navigation, and in that's the type of use when you know the route, you know where you're trying to get to. If it's in this building, you know how to get to the elevator. You just want to walk. You want to walk quickly. You want to take turns smoothly and find that elevator, right? So in that case, you are guiding it. You are basically indicating to glide in which direction you want to go by tilting the handle or pressing the buttons, and glide keeps you safe. And like I said, or like you experience, right? If you get caught up in a corner, it'll back you out and let you continue. The other mode is directed navigation. That's when glide is in charge of the route. Yeah, that can be in a situation where we've mapped that you might have trained glide on the route from here to the elevator, or from your home to the bus stop. In that case, you're probably not gonna even find those corners or those edge cases, because glide will proactively take you on the route. They take you to the places where you need to turn. So and that kind of experience is what I believe will enable people who may have less advanced mobility skills to be able to start getting out of their home more easily.
Okay, so I know we have less than a minute in this segment, but when we come back, I want to answer the question as to, will glide actually take the use of a cane out of the equation, or even a service animal. So we're going to come back and get some more questions from the founder and CEO of Glidance, Mr. Amos Miller. Stay tuned. back here with the Glidance team and the founder of Glidance, Amos.
Amos.
We have the star of the hour sitting right here in front of us. And Florence, I think you got some competition. So, explain to us, about this device.
Yeah, so on the table we have Glide. This is indeed the star of the show. What we're seeing here is a device that has a body the size of maybe a small football with two wheels on either side, a long stem that extends from the device up to the handle where the person holds the device and the device guides the person. These two wheels are fairly large, 7.5-inch wheels, so that they can really manage in all kinds of terrains and don't get stuck in the cracks and all kinds of things like that, so that you can really walk at pace and smoothly. There's a bumper in the front that also serves as a handle to pick up the device, but it also serves as a stand so that you can stand the device up on the front and let the device go, so that you can use your hands for something else, like making a payment at Starbucks or something like that. Inside this body is really the brain of the device. That's where the computers are. That's where the AI processing systems and everything are inside the device. And on the top of the handle here, we have the cameras. The cameras on this device, this is the alpha device. This one has one camera. We're moving to two cameras. And basically, one camera looks down along the stem in order to detect trip hazards and drop-offs and things of that nature, and the other camera looks forward in order to plan the route and plan where you're going.
Well, thank you for that description of Glide, and we're going to take us a short pause, and we're going to come back with the conclusion of our show. So stay tuned.
Welcome back to the conclusion of our show. And Amos, do you have any closing remarks for our listening and viewing audience today?
Of course, thank you. I think this is a very exciting moment with these kind of devices coming available as a primary mobility aid that gives us as blind people another option alongside our cane or our guide dog, giving people the flexibility to choose the kind of aids that are going to help them. I think this is, up until today, the only options that we have is the cane, and people are choosing whether to move to a guide dog, and I don't think that should be the case. I think people should have options, and whatever they can, the tools that work for us well at different times, and those are the tools that we should take out and use and really live full independent lives.
So we just want to thank you so very much, and we're going to come back next week, and we're going to talk a little bit more about some of the questions and inquiries about the device, Glide. And what did you say her name was again? The name of it again?
The name of our alpha prototype, DeLorean.
DeLorean. Well, we're going to come back and we're going to talk about DeLorean, and we're going to actually just demonstrate it a little bit next week. So stay tuned. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.